Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the season 2 finale of Overwatch Pretenders. You guys know me, Guffinator. If you don't know, I'm joined here by Chat Noir
What's
here at the
up?
desk. We are excited for one awesome game: Alpine Wolves versus Lightbringers. It's gonna be a good match. How you feeling, Chat?
I'm feeling great. I'm really excited for this final matchup. I think it's one that people have been looking forward to. We got the desks, we got the casters. We're all ready. We're all hyped for this.
Production value is high today. We are excited. So yeah, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about the matchup?
I think it's going to be a great matchup. Now, Lightbringers and Alpine Wolves were both in the first division between the two, and they did play earlier in the season where Alpine did take it 4-0. So it'll be interesting to see what changes Lightbringers might have made or what strategies they might have come up with to maybe get a different result.
Definitely, yeah. No, and I think we've seen the last time these two teams up against each other. It was kind of a rough time for Lightbringers. I believe it was a note of four actually. Lightbringers losing that game. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see what they do this time. I think they've rosters have had some changes. We've had some new people kind of come in, kind of come out, and the season's just been the meta's kind of developed, and the season as a whole is just kind of developed. So yeah, what are you thinking? What did you put your money on? What horse?
So I'm actually gonna go with the team that won it first. I'm gonna go with Alpine Wolves in this one. Now, I think that maybe Lightbringers will put up a good fight, maybe get a map off, but I am predicting either a 3-0 or a 3-1 going over to Alpine. What about you?
I'm rooting for Lightbringers. I've seen Lightbringers since the beginning. I played in season 0 and I remember being against them, and I know their rosters changed a lot, but they've still got a few of the old members in there. There's some key players on their team I'm excited about. I'm thinking now I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a blowout Lightbringers. I'm not saying the three right away, but I do think it will be a maybe we'll say like a 3-2. Maybe we'll get down to like a tiebreaker. Lightbringers is going to lay on the suspense. They're going to make you wondering, are they going to win? Are they not? And then they're going to bring it home, and it's going to be exciting. So, with that, just to throw out, just so you guys know, I don't know if we've mentioned it yet. It is going to be first team 2-3 today. If one team gets a 3 right off the bat, it is going to be a quick game. I know he said 3-0, but just so you guys know, just so it's reinforced. If that does happen, it could potentially be a quick game, but it won't be. So don't worry.
Yeah, I
But
think no matter what happens map wise, I think this will be a really great game. You're gonna really see some great Overwatch here.
definitely.
Especially with ever since our semifinal matchups, especially since some of the changes, such as the brig change, which you might see teams maybe shy away from using that brig or using that goat. So it'll be interesting to see how these teams play to the meta and what they decide to pick.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm excited to see it. Yeah, especially the brig changes. I know goats is different now. It's still good, but it is a little bit different. And I know we have some star DPS players in both of these lineups, so maybe it'll make more of an impact. Having that clutch widow pick or that clutch DPS as opposed to just running a tank support line. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting. One thing I know I've seen some contenders and open division teams experiment this, watching streamers in GM level. I have seen some experimenting with instead of a brig, just running Lucio, Zen, Ana. It'll be interesting to see if either of these teams try to maybe utilize that, especially after the brig nerf, or if they decide if they do want to run that goats, because they might not,
yeah,
if they will just stick to the tried and true brig and the goats lineup.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited to see either way. We got some good maps coming up here. What are you thinking? Any indication of maybe something special happening with this map pool we're rocking?
Honestly, I think it's gonna come down to what Lightbringers will get the first map pick. It is between Numbani and Hollywood are hybrid maps. I think there's a huge difference in these two maps in the points. So Hollywood first point has traditionally been a tank comp, a goats comp, a brawly comp. Whereas second is usually a dive with all the high ground you see in the Westworld phase, I like to call it. And
Mhm.
then last point is usually also like a tank and goats comp. Whereas you look at Numbani, pretty much first and second are very heavy dive points, and last is usually a tank. However, dive can work. So it all depends on what Lightbringers is confident. If they're confident in their dive and they think they can beat Alpine in that, then expect to see a Numbani pick out front. But if you think maybe they have more faith in their tank lineup or are more practice on Hollywood, then expect a Hollywood for the first map pick here.
Okay. All right, definitely. I'm excited. Yeah, that sounds good. We're just waiting right now for the teams to get ready. Uh,
So let's look at Lightbringers real quick.
Mhm.
Now, what are your thoughts on maybe like some of their players? Anything they could be? What do you think like their key is to a victory here?
So I actually I ended up playing. I played a few rounds of competitive play with Fox on their team last night, and he was telling me good things about them. They're excited. They're really ready. Um, Credit to the whole team. One thing they are excited for is like I hear they do have a really good player in Fish, and I've not been able to see him play yet. I don't know if he was a newer addition or if I've just missed his game so far. But I have heard multiple sources say good things about him, so I'm excited for that. Of course, on the support line, we've got people that have been around for a long time now. Fig, Cypher, these are people we've seen. We're going to be seeing some good things coming out of them. Dork, I think Dork's also been around for quite a long time. So, and then we got the new players, Caro and Aeon. So that'll be fun too. Um, on the tank lineup. So I'm feeling good about it. Like I said, big thing I've been hearing DPS are going to be doing pretty well. And personally playing with Cox yesterday, I know he was doing really well as well on tank. So I'm excited for Lightbringers. What's Alpine Wolves bringing to the table? That's what I wanted to
What they're bringing is a great DPS lineup. I have to throw like the big impact players over to Lodian and David. David, a great in-game leader, a great player all around. He actually recently hit Masters, to my understanding, and this will be his last game with Alpine. And he really just brings lots to the table. And then a Lodian with an amazing Widowmaker. That'll be a key to watch out for. I think that those two will make a huge impact. If they're on and they're firing on all cylinders, it will be a tough game for Lightbringers. I also think the main tank matchup between Nathan and Box is definitely going to be a good one to watch out for. And I personally, from what I've seen, would give that one over to Nathan. However, it is very close. Nothing to take. Both those players are just amazing main tank players.
True. It's gonna be a good lineup. I love that. I feel like we in the Pretenders League here, we usually have pretty good main tank, mashups here. People get excited about the DPS in the back popping off, and and obviously you got some major support plays, but we've always got really aggressive Reinhardts and really cool stuff. I think that's one thing I like about this league is it's definitely changed the mindset of a lot of tank players. I know Reinhardts and players come into this and maybe they play a certain way, and by the end of this, they're very confident in their play, and it definitely shows in these leagues. You can say this is a plat league, but they're definitely playing. This is not your guy who's main tank filling in your plat game. This is a guy who's he's confident, and I like that. So I am excited. The tank matchups are always great in these games.
Yeah, you're right. This isn't your left shift on cooldown, quick play / comp Reinhardt. This
Right.
is, although that can be, maybe left shift with a bubble, whatever.
Yeah.
But this will definitely, you'll see some pretty aggressive Reinhardt play, and it'll just really be interesting. Also, the Winston play. I personally don't know much about Nathan's Winston. I know Box has a really good Winston. I played a couple games with him, and it'll just be interesting to see if they do go Hollywood second point for the first map, or if they do go over to Numbani, seeing that Winston Diva synergy and seeing whether or not they can keep each other alive and properly peel for their supports. I think that'll be another key for this first map here.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for it to start up.
Looks like they're getting their players in right now and getting everything worked out. So it should be a few more minutes.
Yeah, just like you said, I would love to see some dive. I've actually just recently in my own comp, I've been noticing dive kind of making a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
As a former Tracer player, that makes me excited. I love that.
Yeah, my most hours are on Tracer, so I like that too.
Yeah, exactly. Like it feels good. Dive feels nice. It feels kind of cool to have that again. It's great running in a train of tanks. Whether it be the Slambulance or the Goats comp now. But I like it when you can have your DPS shine and your DPS has room to actually get out there and get some picks. It's really nice. So
it also makes for some more fun Overwatch to spectate,
to watch. Yeah, it's better than watching just like a literal train wreck of two trains just hitting each other. It's an actual competitive game. So definitely really excited for that.
So now looking at actually talking about the watching Overwatch recently, they actually made some changes to the spectator experience. I don't know if you saw that, Guff.
No, I haven't.
Added some extra. I don't know. I know if they changed the kill feed to allow for the easier flow of information, such as small things like a Diva mech and a Reese ultimate being destroyed, displaying as smaller in the top right corner, as well as showing when Diva eats an ultimate. So that'll allow both the spectators and casters to catch those little in the moment things. And I don't know if they added it yet, but they were talking about adding it. on the top where it shows the players, they would actually show whether they were asleep or frozen or hacked. There were little effects so you could see that. I'm
Wait,
not
so
100% sure if it's live though.
it shows when D.Va eats an ultimate?
Yeah, it shows when D.Va. So if D.Va eats like you eat a high noon, it'll show the icon with the skull and the cross through the eye, and it'll show that she ate it, and it'll be one of the small one. All right, so it looks like we're hopping into game. It will be Hollywood. We are going to be sending it over to the casters right now.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Overwatch Pretenders Season 2 Grand Finals. I'm Fleetwood 007, one of your casters for the evening, and I'm joined by Sly.
Hello, everyone. We are here today for the finals between Alpine Wolves and Lightbringers. And just to start this off, we're launching straight into the map here. So I want to talk about something just briefly on how much these teams have been preparing for. Something that's been done for the whole season for Lightbringers is that they have preferred Numbani for sure. But in all of us expecting them to go Numbani, they've picked Hollywood instead. So definitely lots of prep. Interested to see what they come out with here.
That was Sly detailing the Lightbringers' absolute excellent pro strat for the start off of the evening. We are going to have, once again, by the way, Lightbringers in the blue, that's Bringers for blue, and the Alpine Wolves in red. And we're going to get this match started with, it looks like the Lightbringers are bringing out a interesting composition, kind of a nice little blend of that dive standard. Actually, really, the only dive here or there is Dork on the Genji. Sly, what do you think about that?
Well, we got to wait for everything to lock in. Possibly, because we're going to have a Hanzo in as well on that. So you do have, I mean, you've got the two combos right there. You've got the grab drag. So
Nanoblade Dragon Ball.
That's definitely a good comp to have if you're stuck. All right, let's just get these two ults. Let's make it happen.
And any caster knows better than to say anything about the offensive picks until it's time to go. That Bastion's hiding on that spawn. What's David going to pick? And if we are having some slight technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen, not to worry, we'll be back online momentarily. And we are good to go. But what's a live broadcast with anything other than technical difficulties? And here we go. They are starting. They are going to be bringing out that classic Goats composition.
Zen Goats. It is
an important... Ana is the usual pick, yes.
Yeah, important distinction there. Looking to blow somewhat immediately, and we'll have to see how Lightbringer rolls.
Oh no! That could have been a disaster, and it was. Maish gets separated from the rest of the team as they try to sneak into that little tiny zone there, and it looks like they're going to do a little bit of a stall there on the Zarya. That fight happened so quickly, we weren't even able to get any play-by-play in.
No, I mean, that's just nothing more to be said there, besides the Zen fell out of the Lucio speed boost aura, and the robot was quickly collapsed on.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, and it looks like there will be no pokes today from this Alpine Wolves offense. They are going to go straight into it. They are engaging very quickly with Ryan swinging away, but that's going to be quick. Aeon Nova goes down thanks to his Zenyatta Discord, but Coxbox swinging away takes both the Brigitte and the Reinhardt out. Now we're going to be looking at a Nano coming out very early. Excellent ult generation. One ult spent, and the fight is pretty much over. We can definitely see that the Alpine Wolves are being pushed away. Whew.
You can definitely see there that the Zen helping there, picking off the Zarya almost immediately in that fight, but then the Ananade purpling the front line of the Goats comp is going to be the thing that is definitely the comp in any of these non-ult usage fights.
So here comes the Dragons that's going to come out early because Graviton was not ready to go. That's a lot of damage coming in. It is going to take out the Brigitte. Goats comp is essential in relying on all 6 of his heroes working together. You lose one of them, the comp is pretty much over. Reinhardt's charging away. It's King Rick on the Lucio who's going to fall. And again, Alpine Wolves is repelled.
That was a beautiful dragon splitting up Alpine Wolves perfectly. Brigitte gets purple quickly taken out, and the fight is really over before it's even begun. Just using one ult for fight wins is what you want to see.
Agreed. However, one ult is great, but what about 5 ults? We have the Brigitte opening with the rally. With almost every ultimate available to Alpine Wolves, they are definitely going to be looking for a really nasty fight. Blade is held by Dork, so this could be a big one. Grav goes down on the field. Barriers goes in, but it's too many people dead. Whatever ults are coming out, it's not going to matter. The Diva Bomb does pick up Dork, who just activated his Blade. That's going to be it. The point is definitely going to go to Alpine Wolves, and we are going to be looking at a game, ladies and gentlemen.
Just an absolute mash of ultimates there, but the one who fires the Zarya grab off first is typically going to win. In case that holds true, and we already have
massive snowball potential. Holy, and they're doing it. Big Shatter goes in, catches 3. Fishling, Zarya on the Andover, they get charged. They're all going down. Cypher falls as well. That's a lot of point progress that they're going to get there. Payload, excuse me, as an incredible snowball.
What a push-up there. Definitely looking to recharge all of their ultimates off of using all of them to take that first point, and the Shatter is going to allow that, getting a lot of the ultimates that they use back up to half. And we got David up here on the Zarya, poking a little bit more, trying to get that grab up as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's interesting. Some data came out about how the payload, if you have 3 people on it versus 1, not a lot of push comes out. There's a Shatter that's going to get eaten by a Rhine Shield and a Zarya bubble. So they're getting a lot of payload progress, but not as much as you would think. The Nano Boost goes out on Coxbox, and there's going to be a barriers to counter that. Now Rally comes out as well, and that's a lot of barriers and armor underneath. That means all that armor is going to get generated for everyone. Big anti-nade comes out. It's now an all-out brawl on the payload, which is exactly what Goats wants, but no kills are coming in. Massive Shatter! Again, catches 3! That's going to be Diva, and Brigitte goes down. Coxbox follows, precedes them, and Dork blows themselves up, it looks like, on one of their own right clicks, and that's going to be another full victory for Alpine Wolves.
Yeah, Alpine Wolves there. Nathan a little out of position a bit early. Lightbringers not taking advantage of that immediately, and he lives, gets back to the rest of the team, and the Zen Goats is eventually going to outdo the Ana Goats if that purple is not getting off, and that's a very...
Right, and a very fast point, too, means that there's 3 minutes, 40 seconds for Alpine Wolves to finish the map. At this pace, they're probably going to handle it. What can... Shatter again goes right into the shield of Nathan. It's not going to do anything. He will die for his sins. And now Nathan's going to get stunned out. He's going to fall. That's Brigitte and Ryan on Lightbringers going down, but Nathan is down as well. No main tanks for every team. Here goes the big Diva Bomb. Does it catch anyone? No. It's not going to pick up any kills, but it is going to keep people away from the fight. Alpine Wolves have been absolutely tenacious in their full court press.
Yeah, really getting those ultimates banked up for when the real payload is pushing. And as you see that, once again, they're nearing 6 ults here when Shatter and Bomb have just been used by the defense.
Goats has a way of picking apart the enemy comp, but Fishling is going to bring both rallies are going to come out now. Nano into Coxbox, another massive Shatter, catching 3. That's going to be 1 charge kill, not a charge kill. They're going to live thanks to that rally. Big Bomb goes out, catches Dork on the Zarya. Another Shatter, but they're going to die before it reaches any kind of fulfillment. Aeon Nova picking apart Nathan. Now it's going to be Lightbringer struggling on the point, but there comes the grab. That's going to catch Diva. She's going to get DMEC. They're going to leave the baby alone while they focus on Fishling. They go down. Fig stalling desperately in the cart with the Gremlin Diva. Spawn advantage favors Lightbringers, but they're not showing up. Probably waiting to avoid that trickle. Lucky charge! Coxbox picks up King Rick with that black hole in front of Reinhardt, but it's not going to be enough.
Definitely there, as the ultimates was definitely in favor. Fishling is going to get to the cart just barely in.
And Cypher also pulling out the stall. Great stalls coming out from Lightbringers. Now their goal is to chew up as much time as possible. And Dork now coming out on that Genji once again to try and probably build up a quick blade.
Milking that time for as much as it's worth every, and it looks like they are going to get it down to just under 2 minutes before Alpine Wolves are able to cap. Really good stall. Looked like a pretty bleak fight from the start there.
It was a good stall from Lightbringers, of course an excellent push from Alpine Wolves. As I'm sure the desk mentioned early on, Alpine Wolves is a team that has only lost 2 maps to any team in the Overwatch Pretenders League. They are definitely deserving of being here in the finals, but no less so are the Lightbringers. Managing to take that map time down to 2 minutes is very important for this kind of hybrid strategy.
Yep, milking enough time off that, lowering the amount of fights that they'll get for when round 2 happens, as that does have to be your thought process in a position like this. Like, we got to get the round open, milk all that time that we can. And if it really lower down the to cap 0.1 in case we do cap an OT.
And as the chat has mentioned, Cox has definitely gotten outfoxed a tad on those shatters. I think for Lightbringers' push on Hollywood, they're going to have to make better use of that shatter, especially if they are going to be running that goats. As mentioned, Rhines do tend to get aggressive, but the key is making sure that that Rhine shield is no longer available. A trickier task now that Brigitte no longer stuns past shield.
Yep, Nathan definitely holding shield a lot more than Coxbox was expecting, and Coxbox swinging just as much as Nathan was expecting, winning the Shattered War, I think, about every time that round.
So I think I super like this defensive comp coming out from Alpine Wolves. They have, like, I'll say 4/6 of the goats. They bring in that Zenyatta that they love, and then a McCree. I love it.
This is the McBrig comp, and it is supposed to counter any sort of dive. You got the D.Va and the Winston that make space while he's in the back. Focus down and just blow up whoever gets near them.
Ooh, but look at this! Lightbringers have managed to pull off this little tiny rotation that Alpine Wolves Zenyatta got a little caught out with. So now they're going to take the cafe, and they're going to seize that high ground. But Alpine Wolves does a great rotation onto their own new high ground. But now it's going to be a fight on the point. Solitude is contesting as per the goals, but they get demeched very early. And now it's going to be a no off tank as Winston is now forced to be the contest. They're going to get out, but Gremlin D.Va has already fallen. Alpine Wolves seem content to wait until that ticket comes up a bit to get some healing. Big anti-nade goes out! It's going to get Lucio and the Winston. Winston is going to fall. King Rick on the Lucio is going to manage to get out alive, but he's taken away from the point. Elodian is going to die, and that's going to be Brigitte. Brigitte goes down as well. This might be Lightbringers is making up that time difference by taking this point a lot faster than Alpine Wolves did.
Yes, that's just a bad matchup comp-wise. In Wolves there, the McBrig hard loses to Goats because the two tanks by themselves can't make enough of a distraction in that giant death ball, and Lightbringers doing a great job of just staying in that death ball and making that comp not work. And we do see the immediate swap off to a Far and the Sombra to get the big hacks on the Goats comp.
Important switches. This could be what changes Alpine Wolves' very fast loss, point A loss into a good point B defense. At Pharmacy, Goats is going to get ripped apart by it, and we can see they've already generated 50% ult percentage. The rally, however, comes out. That's going to generate a lot of nice armor for them as they continue to build ult percentage, getting towards that Nano Blade Shatter and soon a Grav. Now, Nathan is just picking away on them, but they're going to get forced out of line. Now the shield is down, no bubble to protect them. No kills from the D.Va Bomb. Mercy getting away, but only to fall to the Zarya. The payload continues to move apace with no contest until Nathan jumps onto the point. I have a feeling that's going to be nasty. The Shatter goes inside the bubble and it gets him! That's going to be a charge kill, building up some great momentum now.
Yep, slowly building momentum here, and you can poke all you want into Goats, but eventually you do have to be able to pick up these kills. Pharah already having ult very fast there of poking, but the Lucio more than enough to keep that up. The barrage out in the back is going to get slept, and David just flies back to take... While the Ghost comp continues on the payload and is just constantly pushing back this defense.
That was an incredible play from Cypher on that Ana. That's exactly the kind of reaction you want to see. Brigitte made the right decision. They kept their shield up. They stayed calm. And there comes the D.Va Bomb now coming out from Solitude. Is it going to catch anyone? No. Coxbox has his shield up this time. No getting away with that. Maisha's going to drop the Valkyrie. I anticipate a switch coming out from them. Solitude gets anti-nated. They're not even going to risk losing their mech anymore. They're going to beat a hasty retreat, but I think they'll get D-mech anyways. There it comes.
Yeah, we're going to get a nasty little stagger here. We'll get Lightbringers through the first part of this point 3. And if you can't find the comp to beat Goats, run it yourself. Pulling out Zen Goats here to hopefully blow someone up before that Ana Purple and Ana Healing becomes too much of a big deal here. I like this, especially on this third point here when it gets much...
Right. Jeff Kaplan is about to sacrifice Goats on the holy altar of Overwatch with this new Reaper buff coming in. Until then, Rally comes out with a big graph! That's gonna be Reinhardt swinging away! No one gets any ults off though, but now there's a Nano. There's no kills out of that, just a D-Mac. Incredible defensive ult usage from King Rick, but it's ultimately going to go in Lightbringer's favor with 3 kills and a D-Mac. I love this new kill feed, by the way. Thank you, Blizzard. And that's gonna be Maisha and Zenyatta. King Rick's gonna fall. The payload moves. Lightbringers could be finishing this map way faster. I have a feeling Alpine Wolves is going to start bringing out the big stalls.
No, that would... I think that's going to ruin their... They've got enough time to get out here for one more fight on the Goats, and they are going to keep that, along with the rally that should give them a decent amount of staying power. I don't out the doors, though, with that rally. Eventually, they do all gain on payload, but that is a huge purple.
Unbelievable! Elodian goes down first. Reinhardt can't get back on the field without charging. He's going to pick up the D.Va. It's going to slam her into the wall. Massive HP loss there. Another anti-nade goes out from Cypher. D.Va gets caught. They're going to get D-Mech, but not before they pop their own. The Cox Block's ult comes out. He took the advice. Big shatter, no kills, but it does the control that it needs to. Zarya with Dork's charge, just picking up kill after kill. Elodian is going to go to work on the point with that crazy sustain, but it's probably not going to be enough as the grab goes in. D.Va gets picked up. They're pushing the cart. They've done it. 3 minutes and 23 seconds left.
Abs massive from Lightbringers, pulling around and but didn't look like too great. They show the Alpine Wolves like this is you can mess around with these comps, try to find a counter, but by the time you find the comp that you want to land on, we've already got the ult advantage and we're snowballing this all the way to the end.
Yeah, I really liked both of those pushes. Defensively, I think both teams did what they could, but in the face of Alpine Wolves' incredible snowballing and Lightbringers' just utter dominance on the payload with that GOATS composition, also being flexible when they needed to, like as in when that Pharah was going off, that was just some really good, solid Overwatch.
We'll see if how much they venture away from the GOATS comps here.
I think Lightbringers is anticipating it, yes.
Yeah,
have that Junkrat.
A little bit of a junk. No, Hanzo. All right, they are going to go with the defense that they ran first time around. It did hold for a little bit on first point.
It held, I think, for a bit more than those 2 minutes that Alpine Wolves has. So given that, I mean, here we go. Ashe is going to come out potentially. Ooh.
Really?
Ooh, I love it. With a Lucio Taxi to get them back to the point on time. That is going to happen. We're going to have Ashe Hanzo.
This is interesting. Bob to contest point. Definitely looking for a full hold here. They 3.5 minutes to themselves just to get point 1.
And they've gone right into a Sonic Arrow, which means Lightbringers knows exactly what's coming. The Fire Strike goes out, and the poke has begun. No, make that a full engage. Coxbox tossing the Fire Strike of his own. It's just trading shots here and there now. It is definitely poke time. It looks like Coxbox's shield is down. That's the signal going, but a big dynamite goes off in the back line. Lots of damage coming in. King Rick's going to be doing his best to kill him, and Coxbox is the first Reinhardt to go. Nathan is a big anti-nade goes down. D.Va gets slept, D-mech'd, and Boop gets on Fishling. Alpine Wolves racking up the kills with only Elodian's Brigitte falling as a result. That's a very, very important loss that Lightbringers could not afford. With 1 minute 14 left, 13, they have to now do their best potentially to stall and maybe get some ult percentage, but I think that's going to go to Alpine.
Definitely going to go to Alpine. Swinging a little bit too much is going to get discorded early in that fight, forcing him back and just allowing the Ghost comp to come. Once again, we see this aggressive push-up.
And that's going to be that Ashe stopping a bit of that aggression with some of that hard fire. And I don't know, the aggression here when you need to maintain presence on the payload is important. That overtime counter gets pretty nasty. D.Va's going to force Dork off of that high ground and going to take it for themselves. And that's going to be an early kill again, but it's a trade. King Rick's Lucio goes down to Ashe. That's less heals, but less damage. Big Shatter goes out! Coxbox didn't get his shield up in time. No kills as a result, but that's going to be a counter Shatter comes out. Doesn't catch anyone. Here comes the grab. They're swinging into it. He's going to build up a lot of volt charge. And now the Dragons! Dragons splitting the team right in half. That is going to get King Rick in the backline. Big anti-nade comes out! Almost the entire team's going down. Fishling going crazy. Coxbox dies, didn't get a shield up in time. D.Va Bomb goes out, doesn't get anyone. They're going to get their mech back, though. And now, however, Alpine Wolves claps back. Aeon Nova goes down. They have a much better point presence now. Spawn advantage favoring Alpine for the moment.
That fight happening a little bit too early for Alpine Wolves, only just now getting into OT. They did force Lightbringers off. No, they did. I got this. They did force Alpine, but it was just they forced it off. It wasn't an OT, so this push is going to continue despite a fight that looked like it was going to go in Lightbringers' favor.
Right, that is a lot of payload presence. Here comes the Bob. I'm expecting the grab to come out soon after, and there it is. He brings everyone but the Reinhardt in, which means damage is going to get blocked. But now, oh wow, the Dragons comes out late. It gets put too far ahead, and no one gets it. Alpine Wolves lives entirely and actually kills Fishling for his insolence. The Fire Strike goes out, and Alpine Wolves continues to make progress.
Off of that little bit of miscoordination, not getting the Hanzo out ult in time for that grab is going to mean that Alpine Wolves is going to take point 2 here, pushing up, trying to get a little bit of a stagger here as they will not be able to get through the doors. Payload is going to get there. Maybe I spoke too soon. The Lucio gets there, not in time.
That's it. And now for, again, their crimes, a big shatter comes out. That's going to grab 3 members of the Lightbringers. They're all going to die. Everyone else is going to be the hasty retreat, but here comes Alpine Wolves' customary full court press. Nathan coming in, Fire Strike gets eaten, but it's 3-on-2, and it's not looking good. Alpine Wolves going to pull out though, and they know the spawns are coming, and King Rick is here with that little taxi.
Alpine Wolves, Lightbringers saying way back in spawn, got a group up here, need to be S6, you cannot somebody pick you off here. Alpine Wolves a little bit far up here, but the rally is going to keep them up. Coxbox being nanoed, swinging in there. The grab though with the Diva Bomb, not going to get anything. Ryan on the correct side of the grab there, but that still means a little from a very highly charged art.
Diva no kills. Brigitte does go down ultimately, but now you see Reinhardt charging in. He's going to die again. Alpine Wolves maintaining a solid man advantage. Supports on the point, dealing with Figs. They push him off. Anti-nade on Zarya, it has no effect. The point continues to move.
Figs being separated from the team here is very bad. Can't speed the rest of them out on the point, so they're just going to have to walk out without Lucio speed into this Goat. They're already looking for the Ana and Zarya kills there. Figs does get back to point, and the beat, that is absolutely huge.
But then the trance comes out as a counter. No other ults can come out right now except for barriers on King Rick and a nano potentially from Cypher. No kills yet. Here comes the nano. Massive shatter though! It comes in, it stops it on its trails, but Ana pops the nade and Vision dies as a result. Big shatter from Coxbox! He gets 3 tanks, but no kills. Diva Bomb comes out. That's gonna get King Rick and Mike! What were they doing? They were on the side of the shield! Coxbox falls, but that's all the support's gone. With no healing from Alpine Wolves, that Diva Bomb catching no one, but somehow they've maintained the man advantage on the point. It's only Figs and Diva. Cypher has to retreat. Reinhardt makes sure Brigitte can't get away from it. Now Figs is the only one left contesting.
Alpine Wolves looks like they're going to do this in OT, starting all the way back halfway through point 2. You just gotta look that the whole third point was a complete mess, and there were so many ults that I thought weren't going to come back up in time, but just the length that went on for. But you do have to look at missed ult combo for the Grab Dragon on second point, as they're going to have to make up for that mistake by getting it all the way to the end themselves now.
Yeah, that was just. You had a huge time advantage, Lightbringers, but Alpine Wolves, look at you. I've seen overtime pushes happen before, but that was probably one of the most nail-biting, adrenaline-pumping ones I've ever had to be a part of, and I'm not even playing.
They thought Lightbringers was going to... It's Aeon Nova's. Yeah. You really thought it was going to happen, but the remaining four there for Alpine. Pull it out, Ryan swinging on point, forcing it.
And it looks like we are going to have that Ana Zenyatta Goats combo, or rather conflict again. The first time this happened, Lightbringers took point A pretty handily with a lot of time left on the clock.
But that was when Alpine Wolves was playing the McBrig, which handily loses to Goats. So they're definitely not going to mess with that this time. Lightbringers is just going to run this Goat, so they are going to match it with their own.
So they have David getting some little bit of scouting from the Zarya. The bodybuilder confirms it is Goats, and here they come, ladies and gentlemen. What an exciting final push for Lightbringers. Either they finish the map with time left, or they don't, and it's a draw. And they're taking the same strategy. They managed to slip in. Alpine Wolves tries to follow, but they're not able to make it. It looks like they're thinking about it, but no, they are going for the rotation. No, they're going to try and take the cafe from them? Or no, they're setting up directly on point. Excellent. They've learned their lesson from last time. No high ground for them, plus they're running that Goats, which means they excel in a brawl. With that Zenyatta, they get that Discord up, they're good to go. But here comes Solitude boosting Coxbox onto the point, and that's going to be a big brawl now. Anti-nade's coming off from both sides, and Coxbox is the first one to fall. The Divas are going at it, and everyone is just swinging away. Left clicks abound. It's the Brigittes that are going to fall next. Both going down, lots of sustain loss for both sides. D.Va's pounding away on the point, but Figs is going to fall next. This push is over for Lightbringers.
I cannot believe that that purple from Lightbringers did not net in more kills. That was absolutely massive on point, but everyone on Alpine Wolves getting out with about 40% HP once the purple ended, able to heal back up and hold that point. That is a massive amount of time gone for Lightbringers, already a minute and a half off of what they started with.
It's been noted in the chat that Nathan's shield management is utterly incredible, and they are 100% correct. And here he goes with the backside shatter! Awesome! He gets 4! The kills! Where are they? They managed to recover. Lightbringers only loses Fishman, but again, the push is over. Nathan falls as a result, but Figs dies as well.
They do have to commit trance to that once Nate out at very low HP. The Ana was fine for Lightbringers, but the damage was done from that. You could call it a cheeky shatter, but in a tense moment like this, you're not going to be thinking about everything, and it does pay off for Nathan.
Right. Lightbringers has possibly 2 more fights left in their bank, and as we've seen already, an overtime push to completion is totally possible. Rally, however, comes back, meaning this fight is going to last a lot longer. D.Va Bomb comes out, though. What does it say? It says yes! It picks up Elodium, but D.Va's already been killed. Nathan, however, falls. A huge resource gone. The D.Va Bomb comes out. It's going to catch Cypher, who wasn't behind Reinhardt's shield, in the grab. And that's going to mean it's going to be, once again, an all-out brawl with heals missing for both sides. Coxbox goes down. That's going to be no shields for anyone. Maish, however, is also going to fall with only Zarya, D.Va, and Lucio on the point. Advantage kind of favors the heavy damage of Dork's shields. They are going to pick up some point percentage, but now Alpine Wolves is going to come back into the fray.
Definitely not fast enough. Does mean that they are going to have to commit some more ults to this. The Ana ult being committed to force Alpine Wolves away, and Lightbringers will pick up this point eventually, but they've already used 2 minutes, and this is going to have to be another OT push.
Now, with barriers and Grav in the bank, they have a definite advantage over Alpine Wolves, who have no ultimates to answer with, neither defensive, offensive, or tank.
The Lightbringers have to make something happen here fast. Their ult rotations have to be perfect. The Zen ult is about to come up for Maish, so looking for a fight before then. They're falling.
Oh, he gets it.
Here.
So the Grav's gonna come out. Here comes the preemptive trans, though. Grav hasn't been tossed. They did get the kill on Fishling, and yes, that's a lot of damage and sustain. A shatter comes out. It's not gonna be enough. Coxbox dies. Ult's going out in every way, which way we form. The barriers now, too. Lightbringers are getting completely annihilated. They've been pushed off the point, and Alpine Wolves will take map 1.
Definitely a little bit slow there from Lightbringers. Need to make something happen fast, and we're not able to do so, resulting in Alpine Wolves taking map 1, switching to the 4 there instead of that McBrig. It wasn't us, it was the comp matchup. Let's show you how it's done. Big bomb? Nope, just grab, followed by gonna pick up the final 2 and the Genji blading.
And so now we'll send it back over to the desk, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for game 1. See you for game 2.
All right, what's up, guys? We just got back from a really, really great match over on Hollywood. 6-4 going over to the Alpine Wolves. What are your thoughts on the map, Guff?
Oh, that was awesome. That was a good game. Both sides doing well. We were starting to think for a minute there. We were waiting for a really one-sided fight. And once we see 6, the 6-3, and we see Lightbringers starting to even push back, we're like, man, are we about to watch some 8-8 kind of game? It was getting good. You got to love those kinds of first games. Awesome stuff from both teams.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, over on the Alpine Wolves, you saw some huge shatters coming out from Nathan. You got that one flank shatter he had over no time. That was a very ult-efficient way to just burn down the clock and win a fight. You saw some good combos, some good ult management, and they were really using spawns to create staggers. Although on their defense, they tried to run something a little different. It caused them to have to swap around, and on their first defense, they got burned a little bit from those swapping. So it'll be interesting to see if they maybe try to stick with a comp throughout, or if they will go to a comp that they're going to end up swapping where there'll be an ult disadvantage. What are your thoughts on Lightbringers during that map?
I thought Lightbringers did great. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull out the W on the overall map, but I saw really good stuff from everybody. I saw some huge anti-nades coming out from Cypher. Box, I can't say it enough. Box doing great Reinhardt play. His shatters were next level. And both teams trying to do that rotate into point. It looked like Box, as the Reinhardt was playing and making sure every support got through. Alpine was not able to do quite that move just because of the Zen getting picked in the back. I mean, they took it right afterwards, so not too bad to them, but it was nice to see Lightbringers kind of go, hey, you know, we know how to do this too. I saw really good stuff coming out from them. And it was nice. It was even kind of interesting. I know they swapped their play up a little bit. They swapped off of goats, which was kind of an interesting thing. We both were a little interested in that. We saw some interesting moves after that, but it was nice seeing DPS in this game. Honestly, it was good to see some DPS picks and kind of see something a little out of meta. Fortunately, it didn't work out for them, but it's nice to see both teams, you know, messing around to see what they can do to make a.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely, you saw those DPS. They tried to use the high ground second point of Hollywood to their advantage. It didn't necessarily work out, and they were put at an ult disadvantage. And there was that Zen Goats versus Ana Goats matchup where Zen Goats has that double support ult over on the side of Alpine Wolves, and it seemed to work out better for them. They had that stuff. They were able to keep their team alive through multiple ultimates such as Grab and Shatter. And yeah, so here, any thoughts on that?
Just on that in particular, just in the game overall.
Just game overall. Any last thoughts here?
All I would say for my thoughts is my boys, Lightbringers. I want to see a little more communication between Aeon and Fish. All right. I hope the coach is like talking to them or something. I don't know if they're allowed to talk to them right now, but or maybe later after the game. Fish, awesome DPS player, but we weren't seeing the Hanzo arrow through the grab. We were always seeing a grab and then a Hanzo arrow or vice versa. And the two are big together. You guys out there watching have seen the beauty that is a Hanzo arrow right through a grab. So that's all I have to say. Anything else from you, chat?
No, looks like so we are going to be heading over to King of the Hill. It is a choice between Oasis and Ilios, and it looks like Lightbringers will be going with Ilios. Now that's actually important. It has implications for later on in the series, because if it does go to a map 5, instead of it just being a Busan tiebreaker, it will be a choice between Oasis and Busan. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays a factor, because I know a lot of teams don't really like Busan. It's newer. It is the newest map, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be interesting to see if teams would choose the Oasis over Busan. And yeah, I think what you're saying about Lightbringers is true. They just need to combo and I think communicate a little bit more. Honestly, I'll eat my words. I think Lightbringers did an amazing job. I think they were a couple just combos away from completely turning around that game, pushing it to a 6v6 and making it a closer game overall. Yeah, I'm excited for this next map.
They did. They came out with some clutch plays at some good times. You know, when it looked like it was kind of down for them, I think they did a good job rallying up, coming together. Lightbringers doing a really good job on that. I'm excited. I'm really excited actually to see Ilios, because I think with the well and with all of this off the map kind of stuff going on, I'm excited to see maybe a little bit away from goats. Maybe we'll see that beautiful Lucio Orisa road kind of strats coming out. So that'll be nice. That'll be really awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like, excuse me, we do have a sub coming in. Purple and Maish over on the side of Alpine Wolves will be subbing around. Maish was their Zen player. So we're going to see what Purple runs, if maybe they have a different strat outlined, or if they're getting Purple in, maybe thinking that he might add to it or give him some time here to play. It looks like we are getting the raise in chat. So it looks like we will be heading over to Ilios for our map number 2. And let's see if Lightbringers can fix those little mistakes and pull it back.
Right. Or Alpine Wolves will just keep it strong. Who knows? Who knows? It could go either way at this point.
Definitely be a good matchup. All right, let's send it over to the casters.
Now arriving at Ilios.
Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to the Overwatch Pretenders Season 2 Grand Finals Round 2. In Round 1, we saw Alpine Wolves take Hollywood pretty well, pretty nicely. It was definitely a hard fight, but they gave Lightbringers a hard stop. Sly, what are we looking at for Ilios?
We're looking at to see if any of these maps is going to encourage other than goats, because that was definitely the comp that did the most work for both of the teams, but it did seem like Alpine Wolves had a slight edge in that in the end, so it's definitely on Lightbringers to and Ilios is definitely going to have the maps to do that. Starting out here on Ruins, could possibly maybe see a Widow here to really lock down the point. Be interested to see what they roll out with.
100% agree, my dude. And we hopefully will see some very nice Widowmaker compositions. Ruins being one of those maps, Ilios also being just that kind of Koth map and King of the Hill map in general, where each map affords different comp possibilities. Ruins, you have that nice long map affording snipers great angles. On the other hand, you have Lighthouse and Well being comp central, and Lighthouse pretty much being almost anything goes.
Yep, I would expect to see the goats on Lighthouse, but we are not on Lighthouse right now. We are on Ruins, and it looks like we're going to have a Tracer Widow dive here from Lightbringers.
The Korean dive!
Right. We'll
Overwatch leads.
This deals with the Zen goats. Interested to see, Dork has to pop off. I mean, that's really what it comes down to when you're running the Widow.
Yep, it's got to be picks. And here we go, the poke has begun. Lucio's and Zarya's exchanging fire. Dork has yet to pick ahead, which means Nathan, there goes the Winston diving into the backline. The Zenyatta is their target. He's going to escape. Coxbox dies. Antinade goes off into King Rick, but Purple does get booped off the map. Lucio had joined in, but Aeon Nova's gonna get demeched, and that's gonna be a definite win for the point for that Alpine Wolves goats.
The D.Va from over to deal with Dork, forcing him out from the fight pretty much immediately. Have to leave the rest of the team, but the rest of the team was able to survive the purple Animate, and they are just pushing up all the way into this, not letting the Widow comp set up. I absolutely love this.
And yeah, it looks like Lightbringers have picked up, they've read the writing on the wall. They're picking up what Alpine Wolves. It's not so much putting down as flinging in their face. The gauntlet is down, and now it's Goat v Goat. We have an almost identical mirror comp, but again, it's the Zenyatta versus the Ana. But we've seen this matchup before. We know historically how this is going to go out. And a Shatter goes out and picks up 3 members in the back line. No kills come as a result, but that's the stagger you need. That takes more percentage for Alpine Wolves, and now it's an all-out brawl as 2 goats locking horns, and Fishling is the first one to fall. Big Shatter comes out from Coxbox! Unbelievable, but no kills come as a result. Nathan gets off his charge just in time to stop it, and Coxbox is going to go down both tanks from Lightbringers, and that's going to send them scuttling back to spawn.
That was such an awkward fight through that choke right there. You got the Shatter initially from Nathan, which Alpine Wolves is not able to follow up because they have to run through the choke to do so, and then you see the exact same thing from Cox, but the rest of the team not able to follow up either. And this is a very aggressive grab.
How are they going to catch it off? They do!
Oh my gosh.
Brigitte stunning the Reinhardt, getting in behind his shield, makes it go bye-bye. D.Va Bomb picks up the 4K, 4.5K. Aeon Nova has to sacrifice themselves, committing Sudoku, and they are gone.
Lightbringers is barely being able to walk out of spawn here. Having that early switch is so hard when you're going to be at ult disadvantage the whole rest of the fight, and they just got to throw the Ryan Nano in here and hope something happens. But the Lucio beat is going to let Alpine Wolves kite back a little bit. The rally's coming in, but they have to. Lucio is going to be able to get to points. Oh.
Many ults committed, but not for that many kills. And Purple is going to eliminate Baby D.Va, and Figs is going to die. I think they are going to take this point, but Alpine Wolves has done their duty, and they're at 99%.
They had to use everything to do it, but if you have to use everything to do it, you might as well, and they do manage to pull that through. They do keep the Lucio beat, however, as Figs was separate from the team to get to the point to start this OT even. Bringers has to do a complete reversal here and bring it all the way to 100.
We're looking at Alpine Wolves coming out with a Transcendence. Not the best thing for offense, unless you're running goats, which is amazing. And then they also have that D.Va Bomb. Nothing really to combo off it, but they have over 85% to work with. Definitely more than a 2 or 3 fight game for Alpine Wolves.
I'm looking for the Animate. I'm looking for a big purple. It's got to be here.
Yep. Massive boot comes out that's going to knock Coxbox out of position. He is going to get separated from his team. No kills come in as a result. He gets that big rectangle in, and there it is. He gets charged. He goes down. That's bubbles from both sides, but now only one main tank remains. There's the Shatter! It gets Aeon Nova. He's gonna die. Fishling goes first, however. They are gonna not get the D-Mac. Unbelievable! Aeon Nova got kept up by his incredible support team, but Dork's gonna die as a result. That means a big anti-nade now comes out, but it's a little too late. Cypher falls. The D.Va Bomb goes out just to get the remake, but the D.Va dies. Alpine Wolves has a great chance to take this point. Fig stalling for all he's worth. Coxbox coming back. He's gonna catch the Zenyatta, but I don't know what happened. He must have gotten bobbled. He lives. Coxbox now dies. Purple still has that bomb. Alpine Wolves have spent no ults. The point is theirs, and overtime is ticking.
And the bomb here just to zone out at the very end is going to pick up the Moira, split the rest of the team away from the point. Aeon Nova is going to get focused down on the Hammond here. Very annoying to get through all that shield, but all of Goats will be able to eventually get.
And another new feature.
Not able to get there, maybe. Hope charges through. I mean, they're stalling here, but it really feels like what's the point with the OT spawns keeping them away, and that is going to be point 1 going to Alpine Wolves.
Now, another new thing about that awesome kill feed that got updated in the most recent patch is you now see teeny tiny things for the D-Max and the turret kills, but you also see when D.Va eats an ult. And D.Va ate Solitude 8 Dork's Grav. A potentially fight-winning ult got annihilated. I don't know if Alpine Wolves were at risk there in that situation, but that definitely sealed the deal for them.
Definitely sealed the deal, but what sealed the deal to start with was Coxbox getting discorded early in the fight, and the Brigitte goes down immediately after that, and then the Goats v Goats comp. As soon as your Rhine dies and the enemy Rhine is still up, and on Lighthouse, we're going to see much of the same here. This is definitely a map that you can run Goats on, so run Goats they do.
And again, we're going to see the Zenyatta-Ana matchup. Again, we've got a lot of mounting evidence. 2 points don't make a line, but 3 points do. And here we go. Lightbringers takes the point very early on. They're not going to have much of an advantage here, despite a massive choke coming in, because Coxbox they've already taken. No, that's not a shield. It's the shield almost lost. But Alodian gets slept. No sustain for you. No kill. There it is! Alodian dies. Nathan falls. Lightbringers, they are not out of the game yet. They are going to pick up their picks. They're going to take this point, and it's going to be theirs to build percentage.
I do like this point for the Ana comp in Goats because of they having to get into that very enclosed area. It's going to be very hard to dodge the Ana nade. It's eaten. Cypher should have every single fight here if Lightbringers just stays on the point.
It's going to be an interesting way to see how this is going to pan out. How can those Discords make their work? Big Shatter comes out, though, catching many! Cypher down, Dork down, David doing incredible work off top of that Shatter. The D-Mech goes in. Alpine Wolves having the definitive advantage in this fight. They're going to clear Lightbringers out, and that's going to be a point swap.
The old... For the Ryan's team that did not take point, maybe catching Lightbringers a little bit off guard there, not thinking that Nathan would have his Shatter. That mistake is going to cost them the point, and they're going to have to come back in through the open here where the Ana nade is not going to be as potentially.
We are going to see that customary Alpine Wolves forecourt press, though not quite up to the spawn as usual. Lightbringers, but there's the grab! It's going to come out early! The D.Va Bomb goes up and over. Are they going to pull it off again? They don't, but they do pick up Cypher, and that's going to be enough to defeat this particular composition. Coxbox takes Nathan way into the back line. Both teams are really split now, but Barriers comes in, catching every single member of Alpine Wolves. Brilliant usage. Figs goes down. Fight for Alpine Wolves.
Definitely do not want to lose any members late into that fight, so Beat is going to make sure that none of them go down, and now they're up to spawn a little bit back there, get them at the first choke here, and indeed that is what they are going to do.
Alpine Wolves is probably counting ults. They're retreating because they know Lightbringers is about to unleash an ult-pocalypse on them. Ult-mageddon, if you will. Ult-bonanza. They're taking, however, a very small choke. That's a very dangerous place to be when someone has a grab because they draw them in. But nothing happens. No, it does! They get David! They get nothing on the D.Va Bomb, but King Rick had also fallen. Elodian on the Brigitte trying to get some of that sustain going, but they are soon going to be pressured away. Nathan falls without that precious makes healing. And it looks like Alpine Wolves is now going to rush to the point to try and stall for as much percentage as they can.
That is definitely going to be the hardest counter to trans in the game, is that Ana nade, and we are going to need to see a lot more big purples like that from Cypher if they want to bring this map back into their favor. That 84%, that's potentially one fight territory. It's not going to be a pretty fight if Alpine Wolves do take this back.
Right. Now, Lightbringers has a definite chance, but as Sly mentioned, this is going to be very tricky. Rally is going to come out building that sustain. They have 3 more ults on the bank with the graph coming online, but Alpine Wolves has even more. They've got that Brigitte and D.Va Bomb, and they also have a graph coming in.
Poke here.
The Shatter gets stopped and then get counter shattered! Coxbox goes down, Dork is going to fall, but the barriers come out in time to save everyone. No kills from either Shatter. And one was blocked, and one was barriered. Now the Nano comes out. swinging away. Ana goes down. The D.Va goes down. The other Shatter goes in. It's difficult to see what's going on. It's so chaotic. But now we have the barriers coming out. Alpine Wolves is getting a lot of sustain, and they're starting to pick apart the members of the Lightbringers. Fishing and Cockfox both go down with only Lucio and D.Va left on the point to stall.
That late beat is going to seal the fight for Alpine Wolves, and now we hear the Lightbringers has to make something happen very fast here. Already at run all the way to point pretty much. They do pick the right lane, but Alpine Wolves is still going to be able to cut this off with the grab.
They get the grab off! It happens! The Reinhardt gets charged. Coxbox is going to die as a result of the bomb. That's Fishing and D.Va. There's one person on the point. 3 people. Unbelievable. They snuck them behind for that bit of the stall. But the Shatter now comes out. That's going to catch Aeon Nova. They're going to get D-Mac. They're going to get destroyed. The bomb comes out. Will it catch anyone? No. Dion Nova, they are going to get destroyed as Baby D.Va. Are we looking at the Overwatch Pretender Season 2 champions? We are! Alpine Wolves takes it!
Whoa. It's only 2-0. Reverse sweep is possible.
Isn't this best out of 3?
Is this really best out of 3? I would assume if it goes 2-2, it's fine, right? How is finals best out of 3?
Nerf this!
It's best out of 5. I spoke way too early.
Best of 3. There we go, 3. Calm down a little bit. We still got the reverse sweep potential, but we're going to have to see how Lightbringers manages to do that from the disc.
Epic.
Just doing my part.
Participation on Elodian. That was insane. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Goats box up here. We are loving what we're seeing, and it's crazy stuff coming out here. This game was nuts. Now it was a 2-0, unfortunately, but I mean, come on, chat. Both teams doing wonderful stuff here. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And a great thing is we are going into our halftime right now, so we will have 10 minutes to talk. So if you like seeing our faces, you got 10 minutes of that.
Lucky
All right.
you.
So yeah, both teams pulling out goats on Ilios. I was a little disappointed we couldn't see at final point where teams will sometimes pull the Orisa Hog, but we did get to see goats matchups, and it was really interesting seeing the usage of Ana goats versus Zen goats. I think that's something me and Guff were talking about.
Right.
Is goats is kind of like a triangle with that third support, right? You have Zen goats, which counters Ana goats. You have Moira goats, which can counter Zen goats, and you have Ana goats, which counters Moira goats. You got to keep track of that. Objectively, this is like a opinion of a lot of people, is that Zen goats is the best one, because the whole idea of it is just dealing a lot of damage. It's discording that Reinhardt, discording that Zarya, and just unloading everything, every single cooldown, and just getting rid of them as fast as possible. And the whole purpose of Ana goats that you saw coming out from Lightbringers is the usage of that anti-nade to counteract the amount of healing in goats. However, the problem with running Ana goats into Zen goats is that the idea behind Zen goats isn't to heal everyone up a lot. It's to go fast, to go hard, and to just delete someone. And that's where you don't get as much value of the antis, whereas Cypher was getting huge anti-nades when they weren't being eaten by that D.Va, but it's hard to capitalize when they do more damage. So it would be interesting going into this third map if they do a goats v goats, if their coaches talk to them and get a swap from Ana goats over to Zen goats or over to Moira goats, which can out heal a lot of the damage. But it'll be interesting to see what they do.
And I wanted to just really quick, before we continue this discussion, I just want to let everybody know and out there watching, thank you. First of all, this is a huge turnout, guys. Thank you all for being here, supporting your teams, you know, in any capacity. I know I have on my own small stream, I've actually, just from casting games, I've had people who are supporting like random teams they have, people that aren't even in the league are watching some of these teams. I have some people who aren't even a part of Overwatch Pretenders who are actually currently watching this game. And so it's awesome. Thank you guys all for being here. With that, I want you guys to know we have an MVP poll out. So if you are on the Overwatch Pretenders Discord, you can go ahead and go over to announcements, and you will see pinned there. There is actually a MVP poll. We're going to try to figure out from you guys who the MVP is, like for this match for both sides. And then at the end, we're interviewing them, right?
Yeah, our casters will be interviewing the MVP.
Our casters, there you go.
Yeah, there we go. At the end of the match, we me and Guff will be interviewing a player from the winning team and a coach from the winning team, I believe. So once the match is over, make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you stick around for MVP. I'm looking over at the chat. I see some crab dance with the Nathan MVP. So if you guys want Nathan to win MVP, make sure you go over and vote for that. But yeah, and just stick around after that and check that out.
Definitely. So that last game, oh my goodness. So we're feeling it over here. We decided to kind of change things up a little bit. Alpine Wolves, oh my goodness, the plays. I love this team. This team has got teamwork, whether it is the entire team literally keeping Lightbringers inside of their spawn point as a unit. They take that point and they push up straight from it. And it's amazing watch them move in unison. And let's not forget the play of the game you all saw. Oh my goodness, Elodian's bombs.
Solitude's bombs.
Solitude's
Elodian's
bombs.
stun. Don't forget that stun.
Exactly. Yeah, you see the little brig jump up on the side and oh my gosh, so good.
It's a great play. I think you have a stat for us for Solitude, right?
I do. Now, if you'll go ahead and pay attention on the screen here, you'll notice I have this. Actually, I have I have Solitude statistics right here next to me, and you can see that in this game alone, he has gotten about 368 bomb kills in this game. Awesome stats. First time we've ever seen anything like this in the Pretenders League. Amazing stuff. You know, we're seeing an average of 1 bomb every 8.5 seconds, which is just wonderful stuff. And it's just looking great. It's looking really wonderful. So, thank you guys. I'm just excited. I'm excited. Yeah. Chat, I'm getting too excited. You talk about Lightbringers, but what are we seeing?
What we're seeing over from Lightbringers is, I don't think Alpine Wolves, I predicted a 3-0, and it might just be heading that direction, although I don't think Alpine Wolves is that significantly better. I think it's all coming down to teamwork and team comp. I already mentioned the Goats Triangle. I already mentioned the usage of Ana Goats versus Zen Goats. You would see, I would say at least once a fight, you would see a huge ante coming out from Cypher. Cypher, you know, a great Ana. But it's the effect of Goats where that ante won't do much if they're just deleting your Reinhardt and you don't have a shield protect yourself anymore. You don't have that chip damage through the shields. It all comes down to that healing and the quick burst damage. And besides that, having Zen Goats also allows you to have a double defensive ult. So even when Lightbringers would have a Earth Shatter and a Grav in separate fights, they could, just beat the Earth Shatter and then Transcendence the Grav, and they would be fine. They wouldn't die. Whereas over on the side of Lightbringers, they only had the Ana, Lucio, and Brig, so they would use beat, let's say, for Earth Shatter. They don't have anything then for Grav. Yeah. And it would kind of create a cycle of not having the correct ults and ult management deal the situation. And also a little bit of over ulting in some cases. There was a fight on the first point in Ruins where they had Earth Shatter, Grav, and Diva Bomb, and they actually used all three. They Graved, Diva Bombed, and then they Earth Shattered to stun him for the Diva Bomb. It got a couple kills. However, you would like to see it the way that Elodian and Alpine Wolves did it, which was a Brig stun into the Reinhardt to block him off. Excuse me, so they can't block the Earth Shatter or the bomb or a charge coming through from box onto Nathan to get rid of that shield. Right. And there are a lot of ways, and going back over to what Lightbringers did right, because I think they did a lot right in this game, honestly. I think just there were some deciding moments where the ults weren't there and they didn't utilize them properly. However, there were some instances, there was a part where Dork, his Zarya, they actually got comboed, was a Alpine Wolves used a Grav with a Diva Bomb, and they broke the Reinhardt's barrier, and Dork actually used his bubbles and was able to keep all of his team alive from the Diva Bomb. He might have lost one, but he kept most of his team alive purely with those Zarya bubbles. I think that was a huge thing. Dork Zarya has been popping this entire series, and it'll be interesting to see if they can build around that and further that and try to turn this around for their favor.
Definitely. Oh yeah, that was an amazing play. Definitely, Dork. Got to give him big props for that. Yeah, yeah, it was protecting your team like that is insane. And like you said, yeah, a little bit of overall usage. I think maybe the problem there was they were stuck in spawn. Maybe they were just getting a little frantic. So I would tell Lightbringers, hey, I think I think both teams have a good chance of this. And I would say, don't lose your head in this fight. Don't we're, in this league at this point, we kind of know, hey, I just said no like 12 times. Uh, you should know to not pop all your ults at once. Even just to get out of the point, just to kind of maybe push up there, you can still get away with 2. And exactly like you said, that Brig combo, they've been doing that a few times, and it's huge. The Brig's ability to eliminate the Rhine shield and have that bomb go off next to them is massive. Alpine Wolves taking huge advantage of that. And I kind of want to see Lightbringer step it up and kind of do stuff more like that. Get away with using a couple ults and just a good stun. So, yeah, definitely. But Alpine Wolves, I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Nathan with those huge. We saw that quick shatter. We saw him run up to. I think he ran up to the point on the second map, or second point, excuse me. He ran up, uses a shatter to engage in the fight. Before the fight's even done, he manages to get a second shatter just from the amount of damage he's doing. That's just amazing right there. 2 quick shatters coming out from Nathan, in addition to all the rest of the big plays you've been seeing from just everybody on the team. Really good stuff coming out from both sides.
Yeah, for sure. And then he had actually another shatter at the start of the next fight, just based off purely off of cleaning stuff up. So for this next map, once our halftime is over in a few more minutes, we will be hopping into 2CP, everyone's favorite game mode. Yeah. The map pool is Horizon and Volskaya. What are your thoughts on those maps?
I'm going to say it. All right, listen carefully. Listen, everybody, listen right now.
He likes HLC.
I like Horizon Lunar Colony. I didn't like it before, but I don't hate it now. I get excited. I don't get excited when I'm about to play it, but I don't mind it. It's okay. It's an okay map. I have nothing personally against it. Before it was changed, it did suck because it was first point was a gimme, and it was we just had it was basically 1 CP at that point. Because it was just walk to the first point and then get the second. But I think it's interesting. But between those two, I definitely do like Volskaya better. I like how Volskaya is laid out, kind of like the little bit of high grounds coming into the fight and stuff. So I hope to see Volskaya between these two, but I don't moan when I get Horizon in my competitive queue. So what about you, chat? I'm going to guess you're not a Horizon fan.
I will agree with you that Horizon has gotten better, but it looks like we actually will be hopping into Volskaya for this next map. So not your favorite map. You're still excited though.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Out of the two, I'll take that
one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So yeah, Volskaya here. It'll be interesting to see if any team decides to run Sombra. Volskaya has usually been a Sombra map, and it looks like we will be heading into the map. So over to the casters.
Thanks, guys.
Initiating match.
And welcome back, everyone, to the back half of this Overwatch Pro 2 finals. However, with it being in Alpine Wolves' favor, this might so much as maybe a back third if Lightbringers doesn't have some sort of adjustment on this halftime. The GOATS comps that they have been running has not been doing the best against Alpine Wolves, and definitely going to need to something up here on Volskaya.
Coxbox, chat is probably hidden from the stream's view, so I'd like to indicate that Coxbox has issued a challenge to Alpine Wolves. They would like to Torb 1v1 hammer only. Since we're probably not going to get to see that in action, it looks like we're going to have to stick with whatever comps they have on the field, and it looks like Lightbringers are going to bring out the glorious double snipers comp.
Yep, this is going to be the change of pace that needs to happen, because the Anna Goats has not been working against Alpine Wolves' Zen Goats for 2 maps, and be able to change your playstyle with that in time on 1 map, so you're going to have to try something new, something fresh. Have to see if this double sniper is able to do much on point A.
Elodian was initially going to take Coxbox at his word with that Torbjorn challenge, but now instead they are going to go back to that Zenyatta Goats that they've been running so effectively. Now, however, they have 2 snipers to deal with. Let's see what happens.
Well, they can scout this out here, going to walk in on the opposite side. The sniper doing a little bit of work here.
and Solitude is going to go and boop Dorks off of the high ground, but not before Fishley can take out King Rick. The Reinhardt, Nathan all alone gets anti-mated really quickly. That fight's over.
Yeah, that was definitely just the having two different sight lines, and Alpine Wolves not knowing how to immediately deal with that is going to be them getting split up and Lightbringers taking that easily.
Yep, and there's that Dork pop-off that we were looking for, demeching the D.Va and picking apart Elodian before they can get out. Tad of a nasty stagger there.
Yep, so have to regroup. We haven't seen this look from Lightbringers before. What are we going to do against this? Talking it over a little bit, taking their time before the second push happens.
I think they are going to correctly identify their win condition. Alpine Wolves is a pretty strong team. They need to get up to that high ground, and here they go. They're going to immediately take the right angle. They're going to come up under the bridge, but Lightbringers can rotate magnificently.
Yeah, match rotation for rotation, and Lightbringers is going to do that. However, both sniper here are now firing upon the same sightline pretty much. It's just actually now, no, they're both high ground. So we're going to have more rotations as Alpine Wolves goes all the way around, and Lightbringers, David drops of Alpine Wolves down to them on the point.
Solitude chases away after Dork. They are going to pick them off, but not before they take out Mish, and Elodian and Nathan are both going to fall. Again, push defeated rather handily by Lightbringers.
That's actually a Ryan v. Ryan adjustment from Cockbox right there. Nathan has been holding shield all the way into these engagements, and Discord's Coxbox, but Coxbox reading that is going to get the shatter off on Nathan, and that is, I'm absolutely ecstatic to see that adjustment.
And Solitude goes hurling after Figs' Lucio. Of all the characters to stagger, Lucio has less value because of his speed, but now they're going to a bit of a tad of a dive. David has switched over onto the Genji, probably hoping to get some kill percentage, and now the picks are coming away. Rally goes in, going to bring up everyone, including that armor. Doesn't really matter if you have that anti-nade going, armor comes to all, and the trances have gone out. Coxbox has been nanoed. Cypher goes down! Big healing loss for Lightbringers, and now it's going to be up to the Reinhardts to keep that shield up and keep damage going.
Yep, definitely just getting that trans on the point to start that was absolutely huge for them, and right now it's just clean up for the rest of the fight, as it was all just about getting into a position where this mostly GOATS comp now could win. The trans allows them to do that, and that is Alpine Wolves, but Lightbringers definitely showing a lot of adjustments coming out from halftime. I have to see if they can hold Alpine Wolves to only one.
Volskaya tends to be the map where you either have the full holds or scores that go, you know, really, really high in terms of points. David's ult generation is not really what I would have liked to see from a Genji, but he is over halfway to his blade, which is great. He doesn't really have a lot to counter with it except for that barrier, and they are going to be running into a barrier. But there it goes. Fishling is going to find David before this push can even get started. Now it's just...
That's awful. That's absolutely awful. They were looking for some sort of dry push there with their DPS ults not coming online, as they did just swap over to the Sum. Anything out from Lightbringers, who hadn't really used a lot of ults on that previous fight they had lost, but now that's actually just going to be a free 30-40 seconds off of that Hanzo pick from Fishling.
Now, Elodian is here, sitting on the Sombra, up on the top left here. I'm not sure what their angle is going to be. Here they go. There looks like they're going for that pack. My guess is they're going to be trying to get as much ult percentage as possible right now.
It's the Rein hack.
It is the Rein hack. They're waiting.
Oh, the backup. Nope.
There it is!
Going to get back eventually, and here comes Alpine Wolves.
A Mei wall! When did Dork switch over to the Mei? We didn't even see it coming, but Coxbox and Aeon Nova both go down. And now the fight is definitively at Alpine Wolves, and they throw out the barriers to seal the deal.
That beat was absolutely huge from King Rick, barely keeping Nathan up, and that is going to allow David's blade to start going here as the fight is solidly swinging into their favor. That Lucio beat timing was absolute. And Lightbringers, you don't want to be dying with 3 ults still out there.
Huge shatter! It's not going to get any kills. Actually, it only goes the worst direction. Figs manages to get barriers on the point, only catching himself and Fishling on the Tracer, switching for the stall. David doing incredible work on the point. The Diva Bomb goes out for more stall. Gonna catch Cypher. It does. He's down. Fishling gets picked up again. Dork now in full stall mode.
Just Dork left on the point, though. He is going to survive long enough back there at least. The Shatter not going to pick up anything as the Diva was demeching at that moment. Coxbox drives by and takes out Nathan Wathan, but trading 1 for 1 here is you're coming in with the OT spawns and the Boostio just because why not?
I mean, honestly, King Rick last boop on the Fishling, and given King Rick's, someone mentioned in chat earlier that Lucio is literally essential to the GOAT's composition. I don't feel like it was a bad nano. Maybe not the ideal target, but definitely not a bad target.
Nano there at the end. So that, the shatter from Nathan's once again pulling in the start of that fight. The Maywall almost saved it, but the beat from King Rick to save Nathan on actual 1 HP while still purpled definitely started the end of that fight, and that was the beginning of the end.
Brilliant ult synergy, brilliant timing by Alpine Wolves. Lightbringers definitely did a lot of their duty that they could for that particular stall. You like to see those stall heroes come out. Dork's switch onto the Mei was great. It got them a lot of time, and as you can see, Alpine Wolves has only 2 minutes and 57 seconds left. You like to see more stall heroes, though. I liked the Tracer coming out. I wanted to see more, maybe the Hammond, maybe the Reaper. I don't know. Just a little more sustain.
Possibly, but I mean, that's definitely a big win for Lightbringers on this map 3. They got Alpine Wolves to switch off of the Goats, which they had not shown any signs of doing up to this point. The swamp, so it's actually into a game now.
And the defense for Alpine Wolves is looking a lot like Overwatch League Stage 1. We got the double snipers, we got the Diva Winston, we got the Mercy Zenny. I love it!
See, I mean, you know Lightbringers is not expecting this, right? This is going to be a very different look from Alpine Wolves, and have to see dive. If they can focus out the first dive target immediately, I feel like this should go well, especially with the big purple. See how they pull this off.
And now Lightbringers are swiveling into Coxbox, hanging around way too much. That's precious shield and precious time that they're losing. Elodian trying to rotate around. Looks like they're sticking around just long enough to get one shot off. They have a chance of getting caught out here. They do manage to get away at the last minute. Now the rotations are completely in effect. Will he see Solitude?
Oh, the boop, not quite getting Dork off. Dork is going to live, falling down onto the low ground, and this is just what you want his Goats. Get on the point, but the Ana stepping a little bit too far out. Elodian's going to pop off with the initial Ana headshot, pulls up the final kill onto Reinhardt as well. Gets a headshot on Dork to boot, and that's going to be a very long push shutdown for Lightbringers.
You know you have a shot if you only lose the one character, right? I mean, yeah, main healer's a big pick, but if you follow up with it, you're good. But then the Coxbox Reinhardt goes down, and that's just, now it's over. Your main tank, your main healer, that push can't live.
Yep, stepping out a little bit too far from the Reinhardt shield, and absolutely huge.
But that double snipers, that's what they do best. And here, now look, Alpine Wolves is building up to almost every ult in the bank. Meanwhile, Lightbringers don't really have a lot to work with. When Sights goes out, they know exactly what's going on. It's the same path.
I don't know about going the same path again. It is very slow. It does force the snipers to take the same sightline, so that is what they're looking for here, but they need to make something happen faster before that rotation comes in from Elodian or David.
It looks like they're going to retreat and get their cooldowns back together, get that shield back up. And now they're going straight down! They're taking a little sneaky bit. They're just going to walk straight onto the point. Why not contest? Force that dive onto your point. But they're splitting up a little, and that's not tasty. As the big Dragons comes out, and now the chance comes in for Alpine Wolves to split up the team. And there it is. Figs goes down, but Maisha's going to fall as well. Ale Nova picking it up. Reinhardt's charging away, and the Nano goes in, but Fishling's going to be the next one to fall. Elodian popping off once again. The Diva Bomb goes out, and that's not going to get to anyone. It's going to be tough for Lightbringers to come back from this one.
They're absolutely not going to come from Aeon Nova somehow picks up a bunch of people, which it definitely does not. David is going to clean up that fight very quickly, but that is maybe a little bit too quick of a cleanup there. King Rick is going to be coming back to spawn on this Mercy. All the way back to get a Guardian Angel target, but if Lightbringers knows this, they have a very, very small window.
Right, it looks like Solitude, yes. Solitude's Diva was able to get King Rick, the Mercy Taxi, back online. I really like to see that. As an old former Mercy man, I love seeing people help them out. And this time, Lightbringers is going to take the left route, trying to shake it up a little. With 1 minute left, we're looking at potentially a 1.5 fight game. And they need to get a move on if they're going to keep it that way.
Yeah, this might only be one.
60 seconds
From a different rotation, but I feel like the story is going to be the same if the focus
Coxbox gets moved off! They have to go to point now!
Oh, maybe Lucio might and does split the team a little bit, but isn't going to pick up any kills. in the back with the Mercy pocket, and here's the beat coming down from Lightbringers.
D.Va gets demeched. That's a major resource gone. Nathan is going to try and escape. Mercy's going to top them off. Now it's Lightbringers on the point, but Gremlin D.Va does go down. A definitive 6v5 favoring Alpine Wolves. Potential, but 2 ticks on the point. Unbelievable. Lightbringers keeping this a game, staying on that point, and making sure that they get as much out of this as possible. Unbelievable. The fight is now slowly going into Lightbringers' favor, and they're going to take point A.
That was their finals life right there, barely holding on by a thread. They are going to get extended to their Figs really going ham for this potential kill. I'm going to find it though, and they do still have a good bit of armor from that this year if they make it happen fast, along with a grab.
It's going to have to be the grab. The grab's going to have to be huge, but they have a Valkyrie and a D.Va Bomb going into it. D.Va Bomb's going to be great for the stall, and a Trans is going to come out. D.Va Bomb comes out, or rather the Valkyrie comes out early. It's going to provide a lot of healing for this potential push. They have to throw that grab out soon. There it goes. They catch 3. The Trans comes in. It's not going to be able to get past them. They don't have enough damage. Fishing dies as a result, and here comes the Dragon splitting the team in 2.
No. On that grab is going to mean that it's going to get absolutely nothing, and Alpine Wolves is going to slowly collapse on this and clean up the rest of the fight, and it's looking a little bit desperate for Lightbringers unless they can maybe find a big shatter here. They do have a few ults coming up, but nothing potentially game combos.
Right, and it's a little difficult, especially with Volskaya. You have to clear this map with time left.
They do have to clear this map with time left. If this is potentially a tie, it's over.
Oh, and here we go. Solitude throwing out the D.Va Bomb. It's a little far into the backline to catch anyone, and it doesn't, but Nathan is going to pick up Coxbox. They are going to get the DMAC, and Figs also falls as well. Fishling is now going to get taken out by their Brigitte counterpart on Elodian. Another push defeated to fight in Nathan's destruction. Aeon Nova's going to get their mech back, and they're going to get staggered pretty nastily.
All was absolutely fun stalling the baby. But that wall there was absolutely huge, creating kind of a makeshift choke point, meaning that Alpine Wolves, not Lightbringers, having to funnel through it means they're going to get chewed apart by Alpine Wolves.
Right, and now we're going to see once again, it's the Ana Goats versus Zenyatta Goats. We've read this book before. This is reruns on Kids WB 17. This is going to be rough for Lightbringers. They're going to have to bring out some strategies that we've never seen before, and with full ults, 4 ults, they might be able to pull it off.
Well, there's the Maywall just to... This has to be their moment. They've got to make something happen right now.
And there's the rallies coming out. It's going to be full-out brawl on either time, but the Mei ult's going to come out and make havoc for everyone. All 3 tanks get frozen. One of them's going to die, and it looks like it's going to be Coxbox first.
Beat committed to that as well, coming in a little bit late as the round. Reinhardt and Brigitte had already gone down, and we're approaching this 1-fight territory, maybe a little bit more, but it has to be a very fast 1-fight if Lightbringers wants to get more than 1 fight out of this.
Right. And we have Nano and a D.Va Bomb with, again, a Grav coming online for Lightbringers. That's a lot of ults, but in the face of Alpine Wolves, they have Shatter, Bomb, Trans, and the barriers, both defensive ults.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot to break through for Lightbringers. Definitely going to need some sort of... But when you're running in the Goats, very difficult positioning area from Alpine Wolves been prone to do.
They get Solitude a little out. They don't take a lot of damage, but their position is given. But here we go, Nathan. He has the backline shatter, but he doesn't catch anyone this time. No one was within range, but he is going to charge a Zarya all the way into, rather a Brigitte, but they get bubbled. They're going to survive. Here comes the grab. The drag goes out. The Trans is infected, but the wall can recover it. Cypher and George picking up kills. This could be huge.
They do get the purple into the grab, but Coxbox going down early in this fight, meaning without their Rhymes is still going to be a heck of a thing to pull back. Another big purple on the Nathan is going to take him down, and they might have a little bit of a chance here with the rally keeping all this armor up. They need to cap fast, though. They gotta cap fast.
But it's too many. The Alpine Wolves spawn advantage on Volskaya is ridiculous. But there's this Coxbox charging away at Might, picking it up. Can they do it? They need to keep Alpine Wolves off the point long enough to get this point. But
they're going to take the point here, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to cap in OT, and that's the series. That's the series. Alpine Wolves has already won. I know that's weird to say as they just cap point, but the best they can do is a tie right now, and that's going to be Alpine Wolves taking the series 2-0. It could be 3-0. We could be playing for that. I don't
They
know,
have
but
time.
no, they don't. They got 0 minutes.
No, Alpine Wolves does.
I
And they
mean,
only
I
need a
mean,
third.
Alpine Wolves has time to, but they could stand and spawn. They could time, and they would still win.
We're waiting for a verdict. Our absolute moderator is. They are going to play it out.
Okay.
So, Alpine Wolves has to take this third. A draw under the rules is going to continue the finals.
Really? All right.
So is the ruling.
All right. So we will go. So I was a little bit of confusion. If it does go, if tie here, Lightbringers on map 4, despite it being 2-1 after the 4 maps, we will go to map 5.
It looks like it.
All right.
So it looks like, yes, they have stated, and again, we apologize once again, but playoffs is going to go to as many maps as needed. It's not best of 5, it's first to 3. So here we go. Alpine Wolves going for that third of a map on Volskaya.
You're going to have to hold almost 3 minutes here and pulling out another bit of the Widow instead.
Ooh, so we have Dork on the Ashe, we have Fishling on the Hanzo, and now we're going to see Alpine Wolves selecting their comp very carefully. They have the Sombra and the Genji. Sombra being very popular on Volskaya for a time.
The fight winning ult. They only need to take 30. They even have the Nano Blade as well. 2 very big ults.
Good rotation, but Elodian is going to pick up Dork, and that's going to be Coxbox Naps. No shields for you, but Solitude gets demeched, and then Maish is going to fall as well. Another demech, another Cypher. It's a brawl on the point. Anyone's game, but...
believe is what Alpine Wolves comp is going to be looking for, and Elodian cleaning up mean that they will take the finals 3-0. And that...
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Overwatch Pretenders Season 2 champions as we look at this play of the game from Fishling on the Brigitte. I can only assume that an incredible amount of healing went out as well as contribution to kills. Yeah, look at this, they get the rally out.
Nano swinging, that'll do a good bit of damage. Oh, and the
environmental
kill
kill
on the D.Va, just play of the game.
And so stay tuned, we're going to send it away to the desk with some post-game interviews with the coaches.
Epic.
Thanks for the love.
All right, so we're back after a really exciting map 3 that saw them go 2-2 with Alpine Wolves to get a final attack. However, obviously due to them finishing with time, they had that attack and they were able to pull it through. What are your thoughts, Guff?
I thought, it was an emotional roller coaster the whole time. There was ups, there was downs. I laughed, I cried. Unfortunately, this did go the way of Alpine Wolves. Props to them. I was hoping to see a little bit of a longer game today, but Lightbringers came out strong. They gave it their best. I'm a little sad that their comp didn't change. I feel like they kind of were doing the same thing over and over, and I would have liked to have seen a change there. But overall, I think they did a really good job as a team. Definitely watching them take that 1 point was definitely good. It was kind of a late take, but they figured out kind of how their goats would work well, and they did a good controlled take of that point. Props to them. I think if that had come out a little bit sooner, it might have seen a different game. But either way, awesome stuff. What do you think, chat?
I think it was honestly a great series. I think the score might have been 3-0, but I think Lightbringers put up a hell of a fight. That cap on first, they lost their D.Va early and they sat in mini and used the fact, and they kind of negated the double sniper by hiding sightlines and sitting out of it. So I think overall, just a great series. I think some really exciting Overwatch, and I think both teams put up a great fight, and it was just a lot of fun.
Definitely. No, it was awesome seeing both sides. An awesome game today. A wonderful way to finish up our season 2 finales. Those of you guys who are watching right now, make sure to stay tuned. We will be having a few interviews very shortly here. So just kind of hanging out until then, talking the game. But, yeah,
for sure. So we are going to get some interviews So it looks like we will be hopping in with Nathan and Dave Beasy from the Alpine Wolves. Give me a second. And we are going to be asking them about how the game went. So we're just going to wait for them to hop in real quick.
Yeah, sounds great. And give them a minute.
Looks like we got...
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just won. Let's go.
Yeah. How does it feel?
It feels great, honestly.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. It's your guys's. Were you guys in the league before this? I know Alpine Wolves is a new team. Were you guys in Overwatch Pretenders before this, or is this your first season?
This is actually my first season.
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, congrats on that. So just overall, what were your thoughts going on? Obviously, you guys were able to win that. You ran a lot of goats. What was your game plan going in, I guess I should say?
Dale, I'll let you take this one first.
Well, it really just depended on what maps they wanted to run, but since goats is mainly the dominant strategy right now in Overwatch, there isn't that much you can do, so we mainly were just practicing Zen goats because that's the meta composition right now. And then you just have to change it from Winston goats to Ryan goats, just depending on the map.
Awesome. So it sounds like you guys going into this, you were had a pretty good understanding of how to flex your particular goat strat, how to kind of adapt to whatever the team was using while still utilizing goats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing it, honestly, it was great watching you guys. I think you guys did a good job with goats. We definitely saw that flexibility happening as you guys played, and it really congrats to you guys on that. An awesome win coming out from you.
Thank you.
For sure. Your guys' goats was definitely popping. You saw Lightbringers, they were running their Ana goats, and me and Guff talked about it, and casters did, about how Zen goats is kind of the better right now, and I think you guys utilized that really well. You were able to stagger your ultimates really well, and you guys had a lot of combos. There was that huge combo over on Ilios where you guys got the big 5-man grab combo where Lodian got the shield bash. That was huge. Do you guys practice that? Was that a specific call out for him to shield bash, or were you guys just trying to find some way to get rid of that Reinhardt shield?
So yeah, we don't really practice Elodian shield bashing anymore since the Brig nerfs went through. We do try to practice charging the Rhine or just getting the Rhine out of the way somehow. Usually it's me charging him. But that one, the Elodian pulled off by himself. I went for the charge. I missed because they were up in the air slightly, and he had the split second decision making to make that stun happen.
So yeah. So real quick to you, Nathan. I don't know if you can see it, but you actually were voted MVP of this. So after this, you will be doing a quick interview with our casters. They'll ask more about your individual play. So yeah,
awesome.
obviously, yeah. So obviously, you guys played great. You had those good combos going. I saw on Volskaya, you guys utilized that Sombra. Is that something that you guys because obviously Volskaya has been a Sombra map for a really long time. Is that something you guys specifically practiced to and had the strategy to use it, or was it kind of just a spur of the moment? I think Sombra would work here.
So yeah, one of the strategies we like to use on Volskaya is just dive, and that's just one of our standard dive comps. We just do Genji Sombra. So once, and we knew that they like to run double sniper on it, which we haven't really played against much in scrims. We usually end up playing goats because everyone runs goats on Volskaya. So once we were trying to run it and we didn't really have a good handle on how to approach it, we just decided we're just going to go our standard dive that we've practiced, and that should be able to annihilate double snipers pretty easily.
I love watching that. That dive is great from you guys. We're always seeing, loading up in that spot. He's scouting. I think Alpine Wolves showed a lot of times just how good they were as playing as a team, whether it was pushing literally the other team into the spawn point on certain maps or having a loading, doing that scouting. It definitely shows you guys have been practicing, and that's awesome. I think that helps out a lot with your dive, having that Sombra scouting for you as opposed to maybe the Tracer or something in a traditional dive. You guys do a really great job at it, so kudos to you on that.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Elodian for being as good as a Sombra as he is right now, considering that when we first started playing as a team, he actually was not good at Sombra, and we had to run David on the Sombra.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
his
shout out to
Sombra is
him for
definitely
improving so much over the course of the season.
his Sombra is a lot better than what it used to be. But I mean, we were mainly running Doomfist Sombra, but then they like gutted Doomfist, so then we couldn't really run Doomfist Sombra dive anymore. So then the meta just went full goats after that.
Right.
Because before that patch transition, we were running quite a few different comps, but then the patch changed, so you
Now
had
let me
to
ask you.
adapt.
You mentioned David also in that. So he's leaving your team after this season. I heard he graduated. Is that right?
Yeah.
So anybody watching out there, are you guys looking to fill in a slot? Should I start sending all the free agents to Alpine Wolves, the champions, or what? What's going on?
We are definitely going to be looking to fill a slot. I think we've had a tryout already. I'm not sure what the full deal is going to be. It's more Felicity's end.
Sure. Yeah, we don't
But
need any specifics. I'm just throwing the word out there. You guys are losing one. I figured, hey, you got this far. Might as well try to get you a little publicity going there. So cool, guys.
Yeah.
Well, awesome stuff. That was wonderful games coming out from you guys. Amazing. So
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned Felicity, obviously talking about your coaches, but I was just want to ask, like how has Felicity's coaching helped you? Like what are some things you can say about Felicity and their coaching style?
honestly, just like incredible. I'm trying to think like of good words to describe it. They're very good at keeping us, I guess, like level-headed, not letting like people get like too ahead of themselves or too like full of themselves, and basically keeping us down to earth and keeping us like grounded and
that's
focused.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just did a really good job of like identifying like a bunch of people who they thought like had talent but a lot of issues, and then just grinding through and fixing those mistakes.
It's awesome.
They
I
just have a
definitely.
really good teaching style, really.
I
Honestly,
bet. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you.
it's all good.
Yeah, I would say Felicity is really good at coaching DPS players. He really understands how to give them the like correct feedback and how to help them improve. Because a lot of them just like look at like the whole, oh, I need to improve my aim, and he kind of makes them focus on other stuff, and he really looks at the full picture with how to help them become better DPS players. That's what I would say.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It seemed like your guys' communication, everything was just there during that match. And from what I've heard from you guys just now and from a lot, it looks like Felicity is just an amazing coach.
Yeah, I definitely see
Yeah.
what you guys mean with it being level-headed. We've had games in the past. I personally cast a game right here at OWP where we've seen a former team. We just have a team called Scorched down here. One time they tried. I think they got a little bit ahead of themselves. They BM'd on a point. A few of them jumped into well, thinking, "Oh, we'd won this thing." Lo and behold, the whole game ended up turning around, and Scorched ended up losing that point in that map. And so it's like, I'm watching you guys. You're not blowing ults. You're not doing any, crazy hero plays. You have this confidence in each other, and I definitely see that level-headedness. And it just, you guys are awesome. It shines. I can't say enough. It was such a cool game to watch. So
Yeah, for sure. Congrats to you guys again for your win. So it looks like we will be heading over. Thank you, Davey, for the script, for the interview.
No
And
problem.
it looks like Nathan, we will be, unless you have any more questions, Scuff. Sorry.
oh no, I think I'm all good. Thank you
Okay.
guys for being here. Just awesome watching you guys, and just kudos to you. Congrats again.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks again, Dave Easy, for the interview. Nathan, we will
Yeah,
be
no problem.
asking you to hop over into the casual voice chat for Overwatch Pretenders, and you will be getting an interview personally from the casters. So let's head over to them right now. Thank you, Dave Easy. Thank you, Nathan.
Thank
Yeah,
you
no
guys.
problem.
guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, welcome back, Overwatch fans. We have arrived at the finale of the evening. We have the MVP of the match, Nathan.
Hey guys.
So we're just gonna cut right to the chase here. How did you manage to win 90% of those Rhine engagements?
My team. Just yeah, like honestly, like what it comes down to is just they I'm the in-game shot caller and target caller for our team.
Oh,
So I'm in there making a lot of calls, and the biggest call is focus run shield, and then it's just in the hands of my teammates to make sure that happens, to be in the right position to save me. I'm only able to engage as much as my team allows me, and they do an amazing job of doing that.
so it hasn't been mentioned yet, but both casters here tonight are in fact main tanks.
All
And
right.
we were very super impressed with your Reinhardt play tonight for sure. So another question. Did you ever feel throughout the match that there was a time when, oh crap, we're kind of on the defensive?
Yeah, actually, definitely. There were a few moments, specifically one that stands out is on Hollywood when we were defending. Definitely made the wrong call with comp. We were trying to like predict what they were going to run, and they just were running a better comp than us, so they rolled right over us.
McBrig, yeah.
Yeah, from that whole basically that whole first push until basically around the end, we were backpedaling, and they knew it. They had all the aggression, they had all the positioning. That was kind of a scary moment.
Fell back into the bread and butter of your Zen goats, and it pretty much kept you through basically a little bit of shakiness on Vol. Not have a lot of experience against the double sniper there, or what happened with that?
Yeah, actually, whenever we scrim Volskaya, usually everyone else just runs goats, and so we haven't really practiced against double sniper. But we figured that dive would pretty easily counter double sniper. So once we tried a few pushes of goats, couldn't get a handle on it, we switched to dive, and that worked out a lot better.
How I want to know how and where you pick your charges, because to the time whenever you decided to charge Coxbox, it always came through. I really didn't see that fail hardly ever. Is there some sort of signal you're looking for? Is it positioning on the map? Like what's
it's I think a large part of that is positioning. Never go for Narnia charges. I at one point was I used to do that too. I got told unbind your shift key.
Unbind shift.
Yep. Every Rhine main learns it. Yep. It happens. And then like yeah, I start being a lot like more cautious with my charges. I generally only go for them if there is a short travel distance, and like I know I'm gonna end really really quickly, even if I don't get the pin. I also make sure where I end is not somewhere far away enough that I can't shield my team if like some big damage or ultimate is coming in. I never charge if I know they have shatter. I never charge if I see the Brig about to stun me. And a lot of the positions where I do charge, it's like he has Discord and he's low, or he is away from his healers, or I can charge him out of a line of sight where my team has line of sight, or yeah, where he's like being really pressured and he can't react. He can't put his shield down for some reason.
Definitely more of a finishing blow more than anything else.
Yeah, right. That's the game sense that absolutely looks like it took you guys to victory, and combined that with some of those incredible Brigitte timed stuns getting behind a Rhine shield to, now that the patch has come in, make the magic happen. That was some really impressive stuff.
Yeah, Elodian at heart, he's an aggressive DPS player, so even on Brig, he's gotta always be in there doing work.
Well, thank you very much, Nathan, for joining us for a second interview. We're going to let you go down, probably let your nerves go down. Congratulations on MVP of the Overwatch Pretenders Season 2 Grand Finals, and congratulations to the Alpine Wolves again for their victory.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, but we do have a few words about some upcoming events here we have in the next day at the end of the week and in the coming weeks as well.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's chat back. So do not forget, on the 11th and the 12th, we are having the All-Star game. On the 11th, it's the fun community games. On the 12th, we are having a more serious, Division 1 versus Division 2, where we're really going to see them go at each other. And then also don't forget about the upcoming free agent scrims. If you are a free agent, make sure you mark this on your calendar. Make sure you go sign up. It is in the announcements page. And if you just came around to our league and are deciding to watch this, you saw it on Twitch, make sure you join our Discord down below and sign up for free agent. The free agent scrims will be on the 25th for everyone who is 2750 SR and under. And then on the 27th, there will be a mixed free agent scrim for people who are above and below to really show off your talent and get a spot on one of the new academy teams or on one of the upper division teams looking for more players.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Again, make sure the 11th, 12th game, you'll be seeing me and chat right here on the 11th, and then chat with a co-host on the 12th who is to be decided at this time. So it should be a fun time. An awesome game. I know we're all having a good time here over in the studio, loving it, loving watching these games happen. So
this has been the Overwatch Pretenders Season 2 Grand Finals. I'm 3.007. You can find me on Twitch or Twitter at 3.007.
This is Sly. You can find me on Twitter mostly at Luigi_Sly. Guff, chat.
I got you. This is Guff. You guys know me, Guffinator. I'm on Twitch. I stream like 5 days a week. _Guffinator is my Twitch name. You guys can find me there. I got a Discord and everything. Love to have any of you guys from the league here come by anytime.
Yeah, and then I'm Chat. You can catch me over at twitch.tv/chatnoir01. And before we head off, make sure you click that link down below in the stream to join our Discord, twitter.com/OWPretenders. And just a huge shout out to Spidey for helping coordinate everything. A huge shout out to Leon for managing the stream, getting everything, make sure it was perfect. He really kept everything going. And another huge shout out to Forebears, who really kept all of us sane, created a schedule, and just really made everything amazing. So this has been your Season 2 finals. Thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Later.